Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 9, the makeup day of the 27th AIDA World Championships here in overcast Limassol, Cyprus. As always, it's absolutely beautiful here, absolutely stunning. The water is nice and warm. I believe yesterday it was 26 degrees, which is about 79 Fahrenheit. Surface conditions are nice and calm. I believe current conditions are non-existent. There's no current. And we are here to have a fantastic day of making up the constant weight no fins dives that were canceled. Was that 3 days ago? 4 days ago? It's tough to say. I'm getting a little loopy up here. My name is Brandon Reed. I am a freediving instructor. I am a breath training coach. And I have been with you this whole time throughout this whole competition. Last day, and a bit of a short day. If we can throw up the start list for today, we can take a quick look at that. Obviously, one of the things that you will immediately notice is that many of the athletes have decided and asked their AIDA national groups to remove their flags in solidarity and support of Taiwan. As you may or may not know, a few days ago, we were streaming separately via separate streaming platform in China, and the Chinese government shut down that stream. They did that because for the previous 6 days, we had shown the Taiwanese flag with no issue. And what we believe happened is someone reported that secondary stream, and it got shut down by the Chinese government. It was not AIDA, it was not Dive Eye, it was not Best Dive, it was the Chinese government. And I want to make that very clear, that it was none of us here. And I also want to make it very clear that actually just this morning as I was walking up here, some of the AIDA board was chatting with AIDA Taiwan, and they are in the process of writing and releasing a joint statement noting what happened and noting what will be going on moving forward. If you have any constructive comments on the handling of this situation, please do make a comment to your AIDA national group. AIDA International wants to move forward with resolving this issue in a way that is open to as many voices as we can hear, global voices. So if you have some insight, you have a comment to make, please keep it constructive, but we would love to hear from you. And please submit those through your AIDA National that you are a member of. Cool. I think that takes care of all of the oh my gosh, the word's escaping me. All of the bureaucracy. We're now going to move on to, I believe this is, yes, this is Tatiana Skobo of Croatia. She is doing one of the openings, one of the opener dives. As I've said a few times already, the openers we have every single day to sort of warm up make sure all of the judges are, getting into the zone, getting all prepared, making sure the safeties are all good to go, the lines are set appropriately, everything like that. And so these dives, this one and the one previous to it, are mostly just to get the staff ready to go for the rest of the day. Here we can see Tati is demonstrating the no fins technique. And as you can also see, there is no current, which is not what we can say for the last time we did this event. I'm sure many of you saw the picture of Lily Crespi, who is also diving again today, of her dive where she was basically flying off the line and someone attached a cape to her and it looked like she was flying like Superman. Okay, there we go. Nice dive. Demonstrating good surface protocol. Diver has 15 seconds to complete their surface protocol, and surface protocol consists of removing any facial equipment, so your nose clip, goggles, anything like that, giving an okay sign with your hands, and then saying, I'm okay verbally. After 15 seconds, after that is completed, a diver has to wait about 30 seconds for the judges to give a decision on the card. And as you heard, the judges gave her a white card, but because she's not competing in the actual event discipline today, the white card doesn't necessarily matter. But again, it's to make sure everyone is firing on all cylinders, everyone is good to go for the divers who are actually competing on the day. Here we can see all of our safety divers. Well, 3 of our safety divers on line B. We have 2 lines, both independently supported by separate counter ballasts and counterweights in case of emergency. So while one diver is breathing up on line A, as we can see here, this is Soonha Kim of South Korea. So while she is breathing up, the other line is being set to the depth of the next diver. And the next diver has 5 minutes on that line to do a breathe up and get ready to do their dive. And that way we bounce back and forth between the 2 lines and we keep things moving along steadily. Soonhae has announced a dive of 20 meters with an announced dive time of 1 minute and 20 seconds. You hear the judges announcing the countdown. You just heard the judge say official top. If a diver leaves before the official top, they are disqualified, but they have up to 30 seconds after the official top has been announced to begin their dive. Okay. Here we see she is kicking through the positive buoyancy on the surface. You have to speed up and you have much more powerful kicks and pulls at the surface than you do at depth. You saw she grabbed at the top of the candy cane. A diver is allowed to grab as many times as they want and pull only once and only on the candy cane in this discipline. So if she were to grab the line here, it would be disqualification. If she were to pull here, it would also be disqualification. See, she's coming up now. Giving her recovery breaths. She's okay. Nice big smile. have the tag right here, she says. And there's always a little moment of panic when the judges ask for a tag. White card. Very nice dive. Very nice. Okay, up next we have Maria Pilinkova of Russia doing a 28-meter dive with announced dive time of 1:30. Her personal best in constant weight no fins is 26. So this dive will be 2 meters deeper than her personal best. So that is fantastic. We'll hopefully have a new PB here for Lydia. The biggest part of her training has been her mental training. And she specifically notes that it's been important for her to remember that she should not be comparing herself to other people. With freediving, it's such an individual sport. Every day is different, every dive is different, every person is different. And as such, I mean, yes, we are competing here, we are competing against each other, but more importantly, we compete against ourselves. And by constantly comparing yourself to others, especially in this sport, is a very easy way to end up with a freediving related injury. Either a pressure related injury, eardrum rupture, some kind of squeeze. And as we've said numerous times, safety should be your #1 priority when freediving. Maria started competing in November of last year, so very, very recently. And in that last year, she's already participated in 2 static competitions and 1 dynamic in the pool and 1 depth. And now she's doing this one. So she's had a very busy, what is that? November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Oh, 10 months. She's had a very busy 10 months. Sorry, I forgot what month we were in. And again, it's important to note how awesome her wetsuit looks, with, of course, the #1 main rule of freediving being that you need to look good while you do it. Here she goes. A lot of people, when they see constant weight no fins, will describe it as doing the breaststroke. And while the motions are similar, there are some subtle differences. With with constant weight no fins, your arm stroke is more. It's more important for the first part of the pull of the arm pull to get as much surface area as you can, and then get as small as possible at the bottom. The other thing is that with the kick, with breaststroke, you want to keep your knees sort of more in front of you when you do the kick. With constant weight no fins, you want to get your heels as close to your butt as possible. Just adjusting the tag there a little bit. And then at the end of the kick, you want to point your toes as much as you can to stay as streamlined as possible. Looking towards the judges. She's okay. Looking good. And a white card. Fantastic. Please make sure you are following AIDA Freediving on Instagram for updates, for any upcoming competitions, and generally just watching people from around the world doing some amazing freediving. Additionally, for all the results from this competition, and also for standings of the athletes worldwide in the AIDA International ranking, you can go to aidainternational.org and see where all of the athletes stand in the ranking, both for their national records and for world records. And also you can see the results of this competition by going to the main page of the website, scrolling down, clicking on the AIDA World Championship logo. You will then be taken to a page where a menu across the top will say Start/Results. You can click on that, and starting on day 3, you will see the results for the competition. Since day 1 and 2 were the official practice days for the men and women, there were no official dives done on that day. So there's nothing there. Up next we have Muyta Aberman of Slovenia, doing a 31 meter dive with an announced dive time of 1 minute and 30 seconds. She started diving at 16 and she's 21 years old now. She's a physiotherapy student. Her last competition, she competed at Amorgos, the authentic big blue, as she wrote down, 2 years ago. She said it was a really great atmosphere and she cannot wait to get back. You can see a really nice shot from under the water. Again, the visibility has been incredible these last few days. The safeties have been reporting that the viz has been 40 meters, if not more. So I mean, they can watch the divers dive all the way down to the bottom plate from this level, or from this kind of visibility. At the moment, her favorite discipline is constant weight. But really she likes everything, and at the moment she's just trying to get used to doing CNF, constant weight no fins, which that is relatable content. It's definitely a different discipline from everything else. Okay, tucking the tag in the hood, one pull off the bottom, and here she goes. She wants to thank her family and her Inhale Blue team for being her biggest sponsors, or not her biggest sponsors and supporters, excuse me. And she wants everyone to know that she's having a really great time at this competition, which is what she set out to do. She set out to just have a nice competition, have fun, do some nice dives, get some white cards, And from this dive, it looks like everything will be a-okay. She does note that she doesn't have any sponsors, so apologies on that, but she is looking for some. So if anyone out there wants to sponsor Muyta or any of the other athletes, you can contact them on their Instagram accounts. We got a white card. Nice and easy dive. Great way to end the competition for Muyta. Yes, as I was saying, sponsors make a huge difference for the athletes. It allows them to spend more time doing their training, spends more time actually going out to competitions, and it really helps them out. So thank you to all the athlete sponsors who are currently sponsoring. Thank you to anybody in the future who is going to sponsor athletes. And thank you to our sponsors here sponsoring our event. Double K, Best Dive, Paralens, EDT Offshore, and all the other sponsors sponsoring the event. Next up we have Tasha Ukar of Slovenia as well, doing a 33-meter dive with an announced dive time of 1:35. Tasha was also with Muyta at Amorgos in Greece, at the Authentic Big Blue. And she notes that it was a small competition, but the atmosphere was amazing. She ended up ranking 3rd overall. But what was really awesome was that she was diving in the place that Le Grand Bleu took place. The Big Blue for the American and English-speaking people out there. Really amazing movie about freediving, about love, about competition. And if you haven't seen it before, you should definitely go check it out. Tasha says that competing is not her primary interest in freediving, but it's sometimes good to get out of your comfort zone and test yourself in different environments. And that's a really good point. Diving on a buoy, on just a line with some friends is so much more different than diving on a line here at the World Championships. You have the dive eye watching you, you have multiple judges watching you, you have 3 safeties at least, up to 4 watching you. Photographers are already down at depth taking your photo as you swim past. There are a lot of competitive athletes walking around. There's so many things that are different here, and while the atmosphere is full of love and support and energy for each other, it's also a little stressful. So there's a lot of wisdom in what she's saying of getting out of her comfort zone and trying to dive in different environments. Touching down, grabbing a tag. Excuse me. Day 9 is starting to catch up with me a little bit. She is an apnea academy instructor, and she works with Tadej in his school. I'm sorry if I am completely butchering your name. I probably am. So sorry about that. But if you're in Slovenia and you want to do some freediving, you want to take a course, check out Inhale Blue. Actually, it looks like it is in Pag, Croatia. Another white card. Heck yes. That is what I like to see.
How it is? How it was? Next step? 35. I never do this. Manos? Manos? No, bye. Manos.
She's coming.
32.
2 meters.
Okay.
32.6.
Up next we have
15.
Lydia Isaveha
Fifth dive.
of Latvia, doing a 35-meter dive with an announced dive time of 2 minutes. We're jumping out of the water, obviously getting agitated by something else underneath, but it was really cool to see, considering that, you know, with where we are, there's nothing around, there's no structure, and as my friend Carolyn has told me many, many times, fish love structure. So it's very surprising seeing these fish just sort of out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, we're at 150 meters of depth, I think, at this spot, and there's no structure around anywhere, except for the boat, but still. Anyway, I'm rambling now. Please excuse me. Lydia started competing in freediving when she was 22, and she's 30 years old now. Primarily, she was competing in pool events. She's now moved to doing some depth competitions as well.
Dive is 5 minutes, right?
4.5.
You can see now she's hitting free fall. Ooh, we got an early turn. First early turn of the day. As I've said numerous times over the last few days, it's always better to do an early turn. Either if your equalizing is not working, or if you're just not feeling great. There's always another dive. But if you hurt yourself, that's time spent out of the water, and that is obviously not fun, and can sometimes have long-term effects on your ability to dive in the future. Okay, so we do have a yellow card. Yellow card meaning that she will get some points for the dive, but not all. So overall in the ranking,
Kat, what's the next one?
that will have an impact.
Huh? Did you see Jennifer? Jennifer? I gave her. Huh? I gave her. Oh, no, Jennifer, she's on the boat. She's on the boat. She's on the boat. She's sitting behind.
Up next we have Chantal Steiner of France.
58 meters. 58.
She will also be doing a 35-meter dive,
Okay, and
constant weight no fins, with an announced dive time of 2 minutes.
dive number 5 on gauge A2.
Her personal best is 40 meters in CNF, so this is below her personal best.
And 1 minute 7.
53. This is 5.
She's there with her coach,
23.7.
Abdel
7.
Alwash,
1.7.
8 meters.
who has also been competing during this competition.
A little bit down. A little bit down.
Has been a very consistent diver,
Okay.
very strong diver throughout the whole competition.
9.
One side.
Thank you.
As you know, I've been joined by Christian, who is the French coach throughout most of the competition on the men's days. And as you know, whenever Chantal or Abdel have been in the water, we see the other one right next to them as well. They coach each other. They've been coaching each other for quite a while now. And actually after this, they're both going to Cache, and then after that they're going to Dahab, where they will be doing some workshops. And it's kind of funny because that is the exact same route that I am traveling, so I will be
1 minute.
basically stalking these two for the next maybe 2 to 3 weeks. Which is, I mean, fantastic. They're amazing people, tons of fun to talk to. We had a brief chat on the beach this morning as we were waiting for the boat to take us out. And yeah, they're just lovely people. So if you ever get a chance to chat with them, hang out with them, do a course with them, absolutely make sure that you do.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
20.
20 seconds.
10.
10 seconds.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Official stop. Last one.
You
2.
see Abdel back off. After official top, coaches are not allowed to support a diver in any way. Whenever a diver supports the athlete, that is a disqualification. If it is after the official top and before the the card has been given. See a little bit of adjustment with either the nose clip. Oh, sorry, excuse me. She's wearing a low volume mask. So that means as she goes deeper and deeper, she needs to not only equalize the pressure in her middle ears, but also the pressure in her mask, which is an artificial airspace created by the mask. Okay, here we go. Coming back up. As you go deeper in the water, airspaces get smaller. And then as you come back up, the air spaces expand again. Sometimes you will see a diver using a mask will have a little bit of a bubble sort of grow on the outside of their mask right by the top of it. Other divers will opt to instead suck the air back in through the mask as it expands.
130.
Again, every diver is different. Each one has their own preference. Ooh, cool shot of the sun reflecting off her mask.
Et enlève le masque. Protocole.
I'm okay.
She's okay, looking nice and strong.
Respire, respire.
Tag.
Digging for the tag.
Change de main, change de main.
We know it's there. There we go. And that's a white card. Amazing. We're seeing some really nice dives here. We're seeing some extra excitement from everyone here, as we all know it's the last day. Chantel sending love out. It's the last day, so the safeties are extra happy, the athletes are extra happy, the judges are extra happy.
5-7, tennis.
So we're seeing a lot of extra support and love. And we're seeing a lot of extra love and support in the YouTube chat as well. So please do make sure you're showing your support for athletes, all the athletes, Taiwan, safeties, judges, everyone here. We've had a long 9 days, and your support goes a long way. Up next, we have German national record holder and world record holder Jennifer Venlund of Germany, doing a 58-meter dive with an announced dive time of 2:40. Her first competition was when she was 29 years old. Sorry, her first depth competition was in 2015 in Limassol here.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Official top. Last one. 2.
Again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Jennifer is a lovely person to hang out with and talk to.
9, 10.
She gives really great advice. She's very supportive. She's funny. Good morning to you, Bibster 2020. Thanks for joining us.
30 seconds.
Okay, we can see as she gets deeper and deeper, she stops pulling as much, she stops kicking as much.
45 seconds.
And now she's getting a few kicks here to sort of keep up momentum, and she's getting into the free fall. A lot of divers will note that free fall, this part of the dive, is their favorite part. It's really just like flying, and you can really just completely relax and just enjoy the feeling of sinking and the silence.
115.
It's a really incredible experience, and if you've ever, I would estimate and guess that if you've ever taken a freediving course where you've gotten to experience freediving, you would probably agree that it's a pretty incredible feeling. And if you haven't taken a freediving course already, you definitely should. They are tons of fun. You get someone who, your instructor will coach you through the technique and will help you improve. You get to learn all about the physiology of freediving. You get to learn how to dive safely. Looks like Jennifer having a nice cruisy dive here. I believe this is much shallower than her personal best. I think the goal here is just to have a really nice dive, finish off the competition really strong, and just enjoy. And I believe Jennifer is also going to cash after this as well.
Breathe, Jenny.
Grabbing up nice and high in the line, giving her recovery breathing.
Breathe.
Whoop. Breathe,
Jenny,
breathe, breathe. Keep breathing, keep breathing. Okay.
Signal.
So it looks like she saved it. So very slight LMC on the surface, but staying nice and strong on the line. A diver will get a red card if their airways dip below the water. So we've got a white card. Hoo-wee. Boy, oh boy, that was close. What a nail biter.
Okay, I'll keep it.
Whew. As you can see, the judge is removing the official dive watch that divers use to track their depth. Judges use that depth to give their score and their ranking.
Okay.
And there we go, we see Mariana Gillespie, who is Jennifer's roommate. And also a fantastic diver. Mariana has had a fantastic competition as well.
Okay, we have 52, yeah? Guys?
Congratulations, Jennifer.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely
Before was 50.
Definitely brought that one back.
20.
As you can see, many of the divers do not have flags today. That is because they are standing with Taiwan in solidarity and support, and their AIDA national organizations have they asked their AIDA national organizations to remove the flag in solidarity. So that's why many of the athletes do not have flags on screen. We have Mariana Gillespie of France doing a 57-meter dive with an announced dive time of 2:24. Mariana holds the French AIDA record in constant weight with 102 meters. Constant weight being what we saw yesterday and the day before, either using bifins or a monofin.
1 minute.
Okay, touching down. Checking out her technique here, we can see that toes are pointed at the bottom. She's kicking her heels as far up as she can.
1
If you look closely, it's sort of hard to tell from this angle, but she's making a bit of a keyhole shape with her arm pull. The goal for the first part of the arm pull is to get as much surface area as you can, to pull as much water as you can, and then the second half of the arm pull is to make yourself as aerodynamic and streamlined as possible to ride that pull that you've just done and use that momentum. You also see the flick of the wrists at the end. Just get a little bit of extra oomph. And yes, the conditions today are fantastic. There is no current at all. Things are perfect both on the surface and below. She's okay. yeah, we couldn't ask for better conditions to wrap up this competition.
You have a tag?
Mariana started diving 10 years ago, and and we have a white card. Fantastic. Really nice dive.
Five 7.3. Dive number 6 on the watch B1. 218. 218 dive time.
Just as an aside, if you do hear some random sort of stuff, it's because the fish that I was talking about earlier is still hopping up and down out of the water every now and then. So if we're very, very lucky, we might get a bonus fish on the dive eye footage as well. Up next we have Yasuko Ozeki of Japan. She's doing a 52-meter dive with an announced dive time of 2:25. She holds the national records in both dynamic dynamic in the pool and both and also dynamic bifins, so 2:03 and 1:75 respectively. And then her PB in constant weight no fins is 50 meters, so this will be a PB for her. So let's go Yasuko. Nice strong pulls on the surface, pulling through that positive buoyancy. Again, as we can see, as she goes from being positively buoyant to neutrally buoyant, she decreases the number of strokes and kicks she's taking. Doing a few kicks to sort of align herself. And now she's in free fall. You can see her cheeks are puffed out a little bit. That is the mouth fill technique, which divers use to reach deeper and deeper depths to equalize. There we go. Nice turn and one pull off the bottom. Nice strong kicks as well. This is a tough discipline because it requires activating your whole body. You're using your arms and your legs. And then at the same time too, you have to activate all your muscles and then you have to relax them. And activate and then relax. And it's difficult to sort of keep that relaxation that you can normally get from free immersion, where you're only using your arms to pull and you can sort of let your legs just flop around, or with using any of the constant weight fin disciplines. You can sort of go with your either arms above you and sort of just keep them there, or arms at your sides and let them fully relax. So this is definitely a more physically intense discipline. There we go. Breathing, doing her recovery breaths. She's okay, nice and strong. Yasuko's been diving for about 30 years, and she notes that the most important part of training for this competition has been relaxing and making sure that she's relaxed on her dives as well. Again, that's definitely something that needs to be trained. Okay, and a white card. Fantastic. Congratulations, Yasuko. Very nice dive. Making it look easy.
2 minutes 40.
Absolutely. PB cake for Yasuko.
Dive number 6 at 8.
You know, I didn't realize that getting celebratory PB cakes was a thing. But after being here for about 3.5 weeks, I now know that after a PB, you go get cake. It is what you do as a freediver. It's basically a rule.
Okay.
I see 40 down.
Black side, 42 meters.
Up next, we have Yulia Marajevic of Latvia.
Yes.
Yulia is doing a 52-meter dive with an announced dive time of 2:15. A lot of her dry training involves doing dry statics, which I know a lot of athletes do not enjoy doing, but I personally find that thanks, Dan. It's been a long 9 days. I personally find that doing dry statics has really helped me with my
5 minutes.
ability to relax through contractions, relax through the urge to breathe, not only while just holding my breath in general, but also at depth. When I'm doing fun dives, I can, swim down, sit at the bottom, sit with some contractions, and feel totally fine, not have any discomfort really at all. My urge to breathe, which I sort of differentiate between contractions and the urge to breathe, comes at about 5.5 minutes. That's when I actually sort of need to do a little bit of fighting, as we say. But I attribute that to my dry static training. So shout out to Adam Stern and his Patreon for all of that.
45.
I owe that man quite a lot. Okay, touching down, 52 meters. Pull, and here she comes.
1 minute.
This is a national record attempt. Yulia started diving in 2008, and her first competition was in 2010. She participated mainly in pool competitions, and then at the World Championship in 2013 in Kalamata, where she set 3 national records. Yulia's looking really strong.
5.
You can notice too that her fingers are slightly separated. Divers will sometimes do that because the speed at which your hands move through the water. Oops, so she's coming up. She's given the safety divers the sign that she wants to be assisted up. This is something that we agreed on the first day of the competition. Okay, so she's okay. If any diver wanted assistance and a ride up, They were supposed to give the sign that she gave, and the safeties would immediately come in. One would come up and support her airways, keep her mouth closed, and the other would support her on her waist and push, and that way they would get her up to the water, up to the surface as safely as possible. And again, divers, knowing their limits, knowing that they need to be protecting themselves, is definitely a mature decision to make. And that's a decision that Yulia made here. So even though she did not get the national record, I personally applaud her knowing herself and her her ability to know her limits. Love you too, Yulia. Yeah, know her limits and ask for help when she needs to. Okay, very nice. Up next, we have Lily Crespi of France doing a 42-meter dive with an announced dive time of 2:15. I have to give a special shout out to Lily. She gave me the hat that I've been wearing all week, and it has saved me from a lot of sunburn, and so I really appreciate the hat that she gave me. Yes, I do want to echo what Bibster 2020 is saying in the chat. Well done to the safeties. Thank you so much to the safeties. They've been doing an amazing job this whole competition, out here before sunrise, setting up the lines, out here diving with the divers, keeping everybody safe. And then afterwards pulling all of the gear up out of the water. They've done an amazing job, and really huge shout out to all of them. Lily is doing a 42-meter dive, which is below her CNF PB. But as we can see, today's conditions are much better for her than they were a few days ago. Again, you may have probably seen Lily's Instagram post of her being blown completely off the line, basically swimming at a 45-degree angle. But here we can see the technique that she wanted to show us that day. Looking really nice and relaxed. Nice free fall position. She's got her hand gently around the line. She is allowed to touch the line, but only allowed to give one pull in the candy cane area. Here she comes. Now she begins the ascent. Again, we can see really nice arm pull here. Keyhole shape movement. Now I was saying the fingers are very slightly separated. As you pull your hand through the water faster, or as you pull your hand through the water is not actually able to move through the fingers fast enough, and so by very slightly opening your fingers, you can actually get more water than you would if your fingers were completely closed shut. There we go, looking really nice and relaxed. Coming up, just floating up to the surface. Grabbing nice and high on the line. She's okay. Completing her surface protocol. Looking good. Today's definitely an emotional day for a lot of athletes. It's the end of the competition, end of a long competition. Lots of hard work was put into this, into coming to be here to compete. Yeah. Really nice dive, Lily. And once again, really nice dives to all the athletes putting in a lot of hard work, not only to be here, to train to get here. A lot of divers needing to compete at the national level to be asked to come here. Yeah.
So we have
Really awesome to see everyone here.
the dive was number 6 at gauge 1.
Up next we have the lovely and wonderful Kathleen Grubel of Germany,
42.1.
doing a 40-meter dive with an announced dive time of 2 minutes. Yesterday, Kathleen and I joined Anna, Karina, Christopher, and Sandrine for a beach cleanup. One of the things that a lot of divers like to do is whenever they go to a competition, they organize a beach cleanup to just sort of beautify the area that we are in. Obviously, a lot of divers are really interested and big into conservation, and yeah, it's one of the things that we do. So we spent the whole day yesterday, sorry, not the whole day, we spent maybe hour and a half cleaning the beach, found a bunch of garbage and disgusting stuff, and yeah, then we went out for dinner, and it was really, really lovely.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
After competing here, Kathleen is going to be jumping on a plane tomorrow to head to Cache, where she will be doing safety for the Cache championship there.
Kathleen Grubel, Germany, 40 meters, dive time 2 minutes.
One of the things that she's enjoyed most about being here in Cyprus is all of the halloumi. And if you've never had halloumi before, you definitely should try it. Grilled halloumi is one of the most amazing and delicious things that you can ever have. Halloumi being a cheese that was invented, discovered, created here in Cyprus.
45 seconds.
Here we can see she's looking really nice and relaxed. Unfortunately turned away from the camera, but looking really great here.
1 minute.
Coming down, grabbing a tag, and here she comes.
1 minute 15.
The last competition she competed in, she came in second place overall in the female athletes, second place in free immersion, and first place in CNF, this discipline. Having a really nice dive here.
1 minute 45.
I think that is Arthur, one of the safeties, showing us his butt. Okay, grabbing up nice and high on the line. She's okay. Really amazing dive here, Kathleen. I knew you could do it. We were chatting a lot about this dive yesterday. She was like, oh, maybe I'll do 30 instead. And yeah, no, I'm really glad she did the full 40. Yeah, really nice dive. 3 minutes under the announced time too, so nice and consistent. Yeah, congratulations to Kathleen for that amazing dive.
40.1. 154 dive time. Watch B1, dive number 7. The next step, same step. Same step. 40, you can come. Oh, it's cold. Oh my God.
Good morning, Steve. Glad to have you with us. Up next, we have Lydia of Croatia doing another 40-meter dive with an announced dive time of 2:45. So that, even though it's the same depth, that is 45 seconds longer than the announced time of Kathleen. So we should see a very nice, slow dive from Lydia. If she got free accommodation anywhere in the world to train, she would go to Tonga. And she would love to go dive with the whales there. Which, I mean, yeah, I agree with you. Diving with whales is pretty cool. I had the opportunity, actually the luck. I was diving in South Africa on the Atlantic side, in Cape Town, and we were just diving, hanging out, diving on some kelp forests, and a whale mother and its calf swam by us within 2 to 3 meters of me, and it was an absolutely incredible experience. In South Africa, you're not allowed to chase after whales. If they come up to you, that's one thing, but you're not supposed to chase after them or swim up to them. But it was definitely an amazing experience. So if you get the chance, go swim with some whales, and obviously do it safely. We see a really, really nice technique here. Whoop, coming up a little bit out of position. Yep, so looks like we're doing an early turn. Lydia's been having some issues with equalizing, I think. So just a short dive. She's okay. And you can see sort of moving her head to the side. Yeah, equalization issues are tough. Definitely frustrating when you just want to have a nice dive and your ear just won't cooperate. So she will get a yellow card. Some of the points will count, but probably not the dive she was hoping for. Lydia started diving when she was 18 and she's 39 now, so she's had quite a lot of experience diving and does have 5 world records in various disciplines. One more time, the flags, a lot of the flags have been taken down by the athletes at the athletes' request to stand in solidarity with Taiwan. So it is not an error. Every athlete who does not have a flag displayed made the decision themselves to not show their flag. Next up we have Petra of Croatia, doing a 40-meter dive with an announced dive time of 2:15. I have written down that her CNF personal best is 33 meters, so this will be a PB dive for her.
130.
She did all of her PBs at the Adriatic Depth Trophy. We can see, well, I can see, there are some fish again jumping out of the water. Man, things are lively here today.
1 minute.
Everyone's excited here in the water. Once again, the whole Croatian team has an Indiegogo fundraising campaign to support them in their fundraising and in getting to all of these different competitions. If you do feel like supporting them, you can check them out at on Indiegogo if you search for Croatian Team / Freediving World Championship 2021. They have not quite met their goals yet, and they have a lot of different rewards for funding at different levels. Vitamir was saying yesterday that they have everything from coaching to personalized thank yous and more. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, check them out. And of course, feel free to support all the athletes. You can reach out to them on Instagram. A lot of them either have sponsors or don't. And I'm sure they would love the support. And here we go.
Petra, 40 meters. Dive time 2 minutes 15 seconds.
Once again, Petra is one of the 2 divers here that I know of that practices pole dancing as a sport between Petra and Afa of Taiwan. The 2 of them practice, and I believe Petra also has a lot of her work on her Instagram account as well. So once again, make sure you're following all the athletes on all their social medias. Really helps them a lot. And you just get a lot of awesome insight into who they are as people. Touching down, grabbing the tag, tucking into the hood, and here she comes. Again, starting to kick nice and fast at the bottom, doing some powerful kicks. At the bottom, you are negatively buoyant, and so you need to kick hard to get past that negative buoyancy. But then as you get more and more, as you ascend higher and higher into the water column, you become neutrally buoyant and then positively buoyant. So as you can see now, the strokes and the kicks are becoming less and less. Ooh, we can also see some pretty intense contractions.
145.
We do see her slowing down here. Coming back up to the surface, riding that positive buoyancy, grabbing up nice and high in the line, nose clip off, she's okay. Really nice looking dive there.
No. No, I don't see. Now I see.
Big smile. Waiting for the result from the judges. And a white card. Fantastic.
Yeah, you can run after the protocol.
Very nice.
You can do it
But after you make a protocol, you can do whatever you want. But don't.
Very nice dive.
Leave it there.
And congratulations on setting a new PB, Petra. Just as an aside, she is a medical doctor of occupational medicine and sports medicine at a clinic in Regia.
Dive time 151. V2, dive number 5.
Whew. We are moving right along here.
And we have 41, 2. Yeah.
Up next we have Linda Moischont of Belgium, doing a 40-meter dive with an announced dive time of 2 minutes. She started diving around 5 years ago. She went to a free freediving demonstration and was immediately hooked. And yeah, I mean, the free demonstrations that are out there are really cool. I've seen a lot more people doing mermaiding, which if you're not aware, there is a whole world of freediving out there that involves putting on a monofin that is a full, essentially a half-body suit that covers your legs and basically is a mermaid tail. And then a lot of these people will do their makeup, do their hair, have lots of really cool shells and stuff put on their body, and then they'll go to aquariums or parties, and they will swim at these events. And they're really cool. The costumes are amazing. The divers are performing. They are blowing bubble rings. They are, waving to the kids. They are doing this and that. And it's a really cool thing if you get the chance to check it out. But that's off topic. Let's talk about Linda. We can see Linda has her cheeks puffed out. That is the mouthful technique. It is used by divers to go to deeper and deeper depths and allows them to equalize. And here she comes back up to the surface. Her first competition was in a cold and dark lake. She was very intimidated by the cold and the dark and the altitude, but she dove anyway and was successful. Oop, we see divers assisting. Okay, so the divers are getting her back up to the surface. Okay, she's okay. She's up. Breathe, breathe, keep breathing. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Oof. Safety is supporting her. Looking good. Okay. Yeah, tough dive, but she's okay. So that will be a red card. Lots of smiling and laughing. That will be a red card. She was assisted by the safety divers, and so that is a disqualification. Still a good dive. Still knowing when to ask for help.
39.
And speaking of, we are joined by Yulia. Probably not the best segue, but segue all the same. Welcome to the Crow's Nest.
Hello.
How are you feeling?
Oh, pretty good, because I was assisted by the amazing safety
The
team.
amazing safety team, yes. Yeah,
So it was a good ride.
Yes, absolutely. I was talking to about how in the beginning of the competition we discussed with the safeties that signaling like this was a sign for help and just a ride up to the surface. And yeah, we've seen a few divers use it and rather be safe
Yes,
and
I agree.
and dive another day than
Sometimes you need to take a smart decision.
absolutely. And I've been saying throughout this whole comp that safety is always the smart decision. Prioritizing safety over PBs, over national attempts. Safety is always the priority.
It's a nice competition day, so well, most of the people feel pretty tired.
Yes, yeah, I mean, and it's been a long competition. A lot of the divers have also been coaching for each other, so they're also hopping on the boat. Yeah, we're at the end of the comp, and it's been a very long comp, with today being day 9, the extra day.
I'm almost every day on the platform.
Yeah, you've been here really every day. If not in the water, running around doing admin, doing organizational stuff, coaching. Yeah, you've been all over the place.
So right when I grabbed the tag, I felt, well, okay, I will start the ascent, and around 20 minutes I felt that probably it's too tough for me today. But I'm really glad I made it to the bottom plate. Yeah. And I'm really glad I did my dive. So
yeah, and it looked nice too. So.
Yeah, so it was quite tough for me on the way back, so I took a decision just to be assisted.
Absolutely. Up next we have Mia of Taiwan doing a 38-meter dive with an announced dive time of 2 minutes. There's a question in the chat, how much extra weight do they carry approximately? Every diver is different. Some divers prefer to have no weight and be more positively buoyant on the ride back up. Other divers prefer more weight so they have an easier free fall and they can free fall for longer, but that is obviously then a harder dive or a harder swim back up. So every diver is different, and I cannot say.
It's approximately 1 kilogram per 1 millimeter of wetsuit.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
But plus minus half kilo, 1 kilo, depending on body structure and depth.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, here we go. Go, Mia, go. Mia's been an amazing competitor throughout this whole competition. She's, I think she has 2 national records during the comp. She also set a national record during the pre-comp. And all of her dives have been very clean, coming up looking very fresh. She's definitely someone to be watching in the freediving competition space. You can also see here her hands are slightly, her fingers are slightly separated. As I said before, that catches more water than you would if your hands were completely closed, because your hands move faster through the water than the water can move through your fingers. So you get a little bit of extra pull in that way. He's looking really nice and relaxed. Her personal best is 44 in CNF. Grabbing up nice and high, doing strong recovery breaths on the surface. She's okay. Again, another clean dive. Wearing the colors of the Taiwanese flag on her dive computer wristwatch. Waiting for the judge's decision. And a white card. Fantastic. So I believe that is all white cards for Mia throughout the whole competition.
She's doing great. Great.
There we go. Woo! We've got a flag there as well. Absolutely. Yeah, and please do spam your support for Taiwan in the chat as well. Spam, spam, spam
2
away.
minutes to official top.
Okay, so that is another white card for Mia. PB, sorry, no, not a PB dive. But definitely looking nice and easy. Nice and relaxed. So congrats to her. And congrats to the whole Taiwanese team. Really having a strong performance here. Okay, we have 3 more dives.
Yeah, we have now Anastasia Postnikova from Russia, with announced depth of 37 meters and dive times 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And she's last no fins diver today. And we have 2 more. It's restarts granted to Vera Petra from Switzerland in free immersion, and restart granted to Mathieu from France. He did 101 meter yesterday, was disqualified, so he
1 minute.
He won it. So today he's doing restart.
Amazing. That's fantastic. Great. This is constant weight no fins is one of Anastasia's favorite disciplines because it's absolute freedom. And I've heard a lot of divers say that constant weight no fins is the purest form of freediving, in that you're not using a line to pull yourself down, you're not using fins to augment your natural ability. It's just you and your arms and your legs. And I've heard a lot of divers say that while I've been here.
10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Official top. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Again,
7,
divers have up to 30 seconds to begin their
9,
dive after their official
10.
top. So that's why you hear the judge counting plus 1, 2, 3. And then the dive time officially starts when a diver puts their face in the water. Anastasia started diving 4 years ago, and her last competition was in July at the Russian Championship in a mountain lake with 9-degree water, which is way too cold for me. I've done a course in 9-degree water once.
Where was it?
In South Africa on the Atlantic side. And by the end of it, I didn't have enough dexterity in my fingers to actually pinch my nose, so I had to push my knuckles with both my hands on my mask to equalize it.
That's impressive.
Ooh, we got an early turn.
1 minute.
Ah, shoot. Do you know what the water temperature is today?
27, 28 on the surface, and thermocline actually is pretty deep.
Is it?
It's deeper than 20,
Okay.
and it's very, very soft.
Oh, that's amazing. The conditions here are just absurdly beautiful. And as we've seen a few times, you know, there are some issues with equalization, and again, I'll continue to say it. It's always better to turn early than to risk any kind of injury. So she's okay, looking good and fresh on the surface. Waiting for the judge's decision. It should be a yellow card. Yep, so we have a yellow card. Some of the points will count to her overall standing.
Guys, we need the line on 101 meter.
But yeah,
101 meter.
sometimes it's just what happens. Eardrums and eustachian tubes don't always want to cooperate.
Actually, 4 days of competition in a row is pretty hard for everybody.
Yes, absolutely.
It's the first time in history we have 4 competition days for each gender. 2 years before in Nice, we had only 3 disciplines.
That's right.
Free
Yeah, this is
immersion,
the
monofins, and constant weight,
yes.
where you can do both monofin and bifins. And now we have bifins as a separate discipline.
Yes.
It went first.
Yep. Yeah, which I think is a good call.
And you can see that not many people do all the disciplines
That's true. Yeah.
because it's physically quite demanding.
Yes. Yeah, it really is. I mean, even with having the rest days in between, it's tough. It's definitely
tough,
very, very
and
grueling.
Many people try to attempt national records or personal bests.
Yes. Absolutely. Okay, so up next we have Vera Giampietro of Switzerland, attempting a national record of 63 meters in free immersion. So she will be pulling herself down the line for this discipline. She is a freediving and yoga teacher and will be teaching in Lausanne, Switzerland, where she lives. You can see her breathing up with a snorkel in her mouth, with a noodle shoved over it. Definitely a good idea, since these snorkels will generally sink. And with a noodle around it, obviously, it will not do that. Before last year, she had to stay out of the water for about 2 years because she had a issue with a perforated eardrum when she went to a doctor, and the doctor actually perforated it as an accident, and she actually damaged 60% of her eardrum. Since then, she's had 3 surgeries to fix it, and has really been fighting the whole time to follow her dream of competing in freediving. And one of the things that she's hoping to achieve by sharing that story and being here and competing is that she wants to inspire people with disabilities and just to be able to live their dreams regardless of what other people say. Working hard and training hard. Okay, here she goes. Pulling nice and strong down the line.
Do you remember that Vera did no fins dive in a strong current and she actually made it?
Yes, she did. I believe she set a national record on the really intense no fins day, where people were getting blown off the line. I don't remember exactly what the depth was, but it was very impressive. I think she was one of the last divers before we canceled for the rest of the day. Vera does hold 12 national records. She's a 12-time national record holder. She keeps breaking her own records. And she broke 2 during the pre-comp as well. Here we go, she's pulling nice and strong.
Today is a beautiful day for free immersion.
It's a beautiful day. I mean,
line is stable, water is clear, and surface is not wavy, so
absolutely.
I really
It is
hope she
optimal.
enjoys the diving right now.
Yes. As we can see, nice strong pulls, pulling all the way through. With a little bit of a flick of the wrist at the very end. As we can see, she's getting closer to the surface, so becoming more positively buoyant, well, neutrally and then positively buoyant. So her pulls are slowly getting less and less, giving a sign to the camera. Again, it's important to look good when you freedive. Grabbing up nice and high on the line, turning to face the judges. Looks okay. Big smile. digging for the tag. And now we wait. Vera's an absolute sweetheart. I've really enjoyed the time that I've been able to spend with her this trip. And a white card, so that is a new national record.
Well done, Vera.
I'll write down in my notes that she's now a 13 times national record holder.
Lucky number.
Lucky number 13, absolutely. Hugs all around. Yeah, fantastic dive. Has to feel good to finish off the comp that way. With a national record, with a white card. Yeah, really fantastic. There we have the Taiwanese flag hanging out. Okay, up next we have Mathieu Marayo of France doing a 101 meter dive with an announced dive time of 3 minutes. This is a, sorry, what did you say? This was a
Bronze medal.
This is for bronze medal. Yes. Awesome. And this will be in constant weight. So as we can see, he's wearing a monofin, which if you have never tried a monofin before, definitely find a friend who has one or go out and get one, because holy heck, they are fun. You feel completely unstoppable using one. This is also going to be a PB dive for Matthew. His PB is 100 meters, so adding 1 meter on.
And he's going to share bronze medal with two other.
With two other.
Yes, I think it's first time in history. You
Oh,
can
really?
share bronze medal with.
Oh, wow, okay.
For 3 people.
Oh, amazing. Okay. The final results of all of the dives will be available after today. After the dives today, if any divers do want to protest, they have the opportunity to do so. And then results will be posted on the AIDAinternational.org website, hopefully by 5 at latest. 5 o'clock Cyprus time. So you can see we have a really nice free fall position here. Doing little kicks here and there. I don't remember who I was talking to, but I was talking with somebody who was saying that, you know, part of freediving is breaking the dive into smaller and smaller chunks. And if you have a really big chunk that is only, you know, like for example, only free fall, and you're free falling for, I don't know, 60, 70 meters, like that's a long time to be in this one chunk of time. But if you break it up with little kicks every now and then, it helps you stay in the moment, helps you stay aware, and helps you sort of maintain your mental technique and stamina, I guess. So we've seen a lot of divers who do little kicks as they go deeper and deeper. Ooh, okay, so he's going, grabbing the tag, and coming back up. Okay, we can see the movement is beginning in his abdominals and flowing all the way through his body. Small kicks at the very beginning, and then we're getting a little bit bigger kicks as we come back up.
So he covered half of his distance.
Yep, we're halfway up, and you know, one of the things with constant weight, you can see the first safety with the scooter. Scooters coming and being used for dives deeper than 80 meters. As you can see, he's sort of slowing down, and at this point, the legs are definitely getting tired. He's having a lot of lactic acid buildup, and this is where the dive gets tough, because you still have to push through that. But he's looking okay. Still coming. Oops, we have a pole, so he's coming up. We have a surface blackout. Ah, shoot. Safety's coming in, doing blow tap talk, giving a rescue breath, and Matthew's up. Smile on his face.
It's the second deep dive for Matthew in a row.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, because he did 101 meters yesterday as well. So it's a tough situation to be in, because you want to obviously redo your dive. But 2 days in a row doing 101 meters is very taxing.
In training conditions, he would take 1 or 2 days off
Yes.
to repeat his dive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Really nice looking dive though. Free fall looked amazing. Technique coming back up was really nice. Nice to see the demonstration of the monofin technique, as always.
Flight number 8. Cat, flight number 8. 3 minutes 03. 101.3.
Yeah, looking good, chatting with the safeties.
A1. Jana, can you please pass? Let me know when you finish. Catherine. Voila. Thank you guys.
Okay. So I think there might be one more dive coming up. I'm not sure though.
I get one dive and I get a good photo of you guys.
We had one diver from China who was traveling from Philippines, and he was stuck in the airport for 10 days because of some COVID.
Yes. Yes.
So actually he arrived yesterday, and of course he wanted to do at least one dive, but we couldn't allow him to do World Championship dive because he didn't follow the procedure. But since it wasn't his fault and it was a very unlucky situation for him, we decided to grant him one individual attempt. It will not go into total start list of World Championship, but he will do his dive.
Okay.
Because he got here.
Because he got here, yeah. Yeah, actually, I met him last night. His name is Bob. I don't know his last name, unfortunately, but he's a really nice guy. And yeah, he's been on a harrowing journey over the last 10 days of getting stuck in airports, not being allowed to leave airports, people refusing to stamp his passport, so many things, and he got in at around, I think maybe 8 o'clock last night, and he was like, I've been trying to get here. I was supposed to get here on the 20th or the 19th, and this happened and that happened, and he was like, I just want to do one dive because I have all my stuff here, and I won't be able to get back into the Philippines because they're on hard lockdown. So I want this trip to be worth it just for one dive.
Yes, I see him on lane B right now.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to show it. I think it'd be nice to show the dive. But yeah, as you said, this will not put him in any of the ranking for any of the dives that we've done so far. But it will just be a dive for him to do an attempt, just get in the water, have a conclusion to his epic journey. So we'll see.
He's supposed to start in 3 minutes.
Okay, so he has 3 more minutes to official top. One more time, I want to... Yes, there we go. There is Bob. Okay, yes. Before Bob does his dive, I'd just like to thank one more time all of these sponsors for the AIDA World Championship, specifically Double K, Best Dive, Paralens, EDT Offshore, all the other sponsors, all of the athlete sponsors, huge thank you, all of the friends and family watching and supporting on the live stream, everyone sharing, everyone who has sent in their photos of watching the live stream. Again, all the staff who made this possible, all of the safeties, all of the judges. Everyone has done an amazing job really putting this whole comp together. There we go. Pibo Zhang of China. Bob, as he likes to be called. Doing a 76-meter dive. Constant weight bifins. Not sure what he announced, but we will see. Okay, here we go, breathing up. We see him doing some packs here on the surface. You also saw that he added, he puffed his cheeks out on the surface. That is a technique that some divers do to add just a little bit more air into the overall system. So we'll see. You can see his cheeks puffed out already. And he'll recharge his mouthfeel as he goes deeper. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very nice dive. I knew you could do it.
It was very nice today. Good way to end.
Absolutely. We're watching Bob dive at the moment. Ooh, we've got an early turn. And to be honest, it's not surprising. I mean, he's spent the last 10 days trying to get here.
Yeah.
I would be super stressed.
And they took his neck weight on the airport now, and so now
That's
he had
right,
to
they took his
find
neck weight
something
too.
Last minute.
Yeah. He was saying they made him give up all of his food too. So he had to empty his bag of all the food that he was bringing. So
It's understandable, yeah?
it's very understandable. Yeah, coming up, being met by all the safeties. Beautiful shot though from under the water. Yep, grabbing up nice and high. He's okay. You can see he's got a little round bump on the top of his head. That is his dive computer. A lot of divers will do that because they set alarms for depths to sort of go off to either remind them of mouthfill or to let them know they're getting close to the bottom. And the closer you get it to your ears, the easier it is to hear. So a lot of divers wear their dive computer like that. There we go. He did it.
Oh, he was so stressed just now.
putting the neck weight together, finding
Oh,
the neck weight, doing
oh,
a buoyancy
man.
check, putting a little bit more of weight, doing another buoyancy
Yeah,
check.
and you don't want to do your buoyancy check right before your dive. But, you know, he got here, he did a dive. Yeah.
Came from the Philippines.
Yes, came from the Philippines. Yeah, very long journey. I think he said he had 38 hours of travel after he was able to actually leave.
Yeah, Sasha told me that for 2 months she's been trying to get a visa and do certain things.
Jeez, yeah. Yeah, I'm joined by Kathleen, who just did a 40-meter dive,
Hello.
and will now be going to Cache.
To Cache, yeah?
Yeah, you're going to be safetying.
Tomorrow, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It'll be a long drive, quick flight, and another long drive to the hotel.
And then back to the water.
And back into the water, absolutely. I do have written down that we have one more diver, Linda Paganelli, who is also doing a dive. She's a safety diver here. Has been doing the safety throughout the whole comp, and I mean, I don't really blame her. I would also love to get in the water and do a quick dive,
Of course.
but I think I missed my opportunity.
You should run now.
I should run now and just... I'll jump in after Linda. We can both dive down together.
What is she doing?
It looks like she has bifins on, but I am not sure. Again,
Ah, bifins.
yeah, there we go. From Italy, doing a 70-meter dive. We don't have the announced dive time, but that is okay. Yeah, long competition.
Yes, eh?
I'm exhausted.
It's been tiring.
Yeah, the divers are all tired, and we have a well-deserved after party coming up tonight.
Yes, the most important part.
Yes, the most important part of the competition. You know, you disregard the medals, disregard the dives themselves. The after party
The after party.
is the most important part.
It's gonna be epic.
Yeah, it's going to be at a really cool place. Let's see. Yeah. Did you see the fish that were jumping around?
Oh yes, so
I-
beautiful.
That was so cool, and
So
like,
cool.
you know, we haven't seen much of any life during this comp, especially out here in the middle of nowhere. So it's really nice to see that there are living things flying around,
Yeah,
and not only like, you know, swimming around, but like actively jumping out of the water.
showing off a little bit.
Yeah, showing off a little bit. I mean, they were beautiful fish too. They were really pale white in the middle, and then they had blue fins on the top and the bottom.
And also green, no, on the belly, yellow.
Yeah.
All the colors.
Yeah, I'd love to know what kind of fish that is. So if you live in Cyprus and you know what kind of fish we're talking about, please do let me know, because I would love to look at it more when it's not, you know, a long ways away and I can actually see it. You know, I think I've finally run out of things to say. I've been talking non-stop.
So is Linda our last diver for today?
Linda, I believe, is the last diver. Last diver of the day, last diver of the comp.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a nice way to end, no?
it is a nice way to end. Hmm.
3 minutes.
Let's see, what more can I say? If you guys have any questions in the chat, please do post them now, and I will answer them. I did have a question yesterday about the dive setup itself. We do have 2 lines. Each one has a counterweight measure on it. So in the event of needing to pull a diver up from a deep depth, we drop the counterweight and the whole line is pulled up very quickly. And again, Yeah, we have line A and line B, so while one diver was breathing up, the other line was being set to the next depth. Yeah. And again, each diver does get 5 minutes to breathe up on the surface before, in preparation for their dive.
2 minutes
And
to
it's been going
official
super
top.
smooth.
It's been going really, really smooth. We've been really awesome to have everything on time. Okay, guys, please give me questions. I'm officially at the end of my thinking ability, and questions will give me something to talk about. Or if we're happy to, we can just sit in silence and watch this last diver relax.
Do
Watch
we know
Linda.
anything about Linda? Where is she from?
She's from Italy.
She's from Italy.
She's very sweet. I've chatted with her a few times. And unfortunately, I can't remember any of the substance of the conversation.
1
I've
minute.
been talking with so many people so much over these last 9 days. And even before that, I've been the most social of butterflies. I cannot remember what exactly we talked about, but I remember that it left a very good feeling in my heart. Really, I think that's what matters.
So excited to see her dive.
Yeah, me too.
It's nice to see the safeties dive actually.
30
It is.
seconds.
I
Yeah.
remember I was doing safety 2 years ago in Roatan. And we also got the chance, some of the safeties also got the chance to do a dive on the main line. And it was such a cool
20.
experience, no? To kind of change sides and do a dive on the main line. It was my first ever dive on a competition line back then.
Amazing.
Super nervous.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of nerves that comes with diving on the line with the judges
5,
there, the safeties
4,
all around you.
3,
Countdown.
2,
Mm-hmm.
1.
Back then,
Official
I
top.
wasn't really used to
Last
diving with a
one.
lanyard also, I remember.
Oh, okay.
3,
That's why I hold the
4,
Yeah,
lanyard.
what do I do with the lanyard?
6, 7, 8, 9.
Yes, Linda has been diving for a very long time. I think she's been diving well over 20 years.
Oh.
Italy.
Yes.
70 meters.
Started
Dive time,
freedive
2
Dahab early in
minutes, 30
2020.
seconds.
Ah, so she's
Okay,
doing
let's
that.
treat this as a serious dive.
Yeah, I believe so, yes. That does sound right.
15
off she goes.
seconds.
Off she goes, here we go.
20 meters just in the background.
Really nice bifin technique.
Very nice position.
They won't follow Omar, but Pavel is official number 2.
Actually, I just realized we're getting to see all 4 disciplines
30
today.
seconds.
Because Vera did free immersion, Matthew did monofin, constant weight. We've got bifins here, and then all of the CNF. What are those goggles mask? Anyone recognize? I don't know the specific brand, but they are the ones that you fill with fluid, as you do not have to, so you don't have to equalize them.
1 minute.
Yes.
Looking very nice. Very good free fall.
Yeah, really nice free fall. Really nice position. Chin tucked in slightly. Arms at her sides, but not so much like clamped down. So nice and relaxed position.
And there she is.
Here she is. Going down, grabbing the tag. And here she comes.
It's looking
Small.
easy.
1 minute,
Yeah.
30 seconds.
Small fast kicks at the bottom to start up that momentum. For the question about the
1
U.S.
minute,
participation,
45 seconds.
I know a lot of it has to do with just ability to get here. Renee Blunden was the only one that was able to come. There are other events going on that other American athletes are
2
competing in.
minutes.
But she did say that the best way to get invited to one of these events is by doing local competitions and getting a record within AIDA.
2 minutes, 15 seconds.
Okay, she's coming up. We've got all the safeties here with her. showing support.
Amazing. Aw.
2 minutes, 30 seconds.
Final dive of the comp.
Yeah, she's perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine. She's okay. Beautiful dive. Yeah, and again, the support and family environment here is absolutely incredible. Everyone is so lovely, supportive, friendly. And that is it.
Well done, Linda.
Woo! That's it. We're done. All the happy faces. Amazing dives. Amazing comp. Yes. Yeah, what a way to end.
Yes, that's very good.
Really amazing. Okay.
Let's go celebrate.
Let's go celebrate. Yeah, it feels weird to sort of be signing off here. We're officially done, that is right. So, on that note,
Mila.
hello.
I just want you to read all the names and the safeties.
Ah, yes, cool. I'm going to quickly read off the names of all the safeties here just to thank them. Please once again show all your support in the chat, in the comments. We have Linda Paganelli, who we just saw dive, Natsumi Mitsuono, Arthur Voisin, Solal Marciano, sorry, Jimmy Jantot, that's probably wrong, Francesco Carusi, Omar Ahmed Shauki, Christopher McKay, Marco Constantino, Jude Campan, Pavel Tom, Philippe Jakubiak, and Yuri Titurian. Cool. Awesome.
Thank you, safeties.
Yes, thank you, safeties, so much. Thank you to all the event organizers, all of the divers, all of the people, the sponsors, the staff, everyone. Medical, oh my gosh, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you. Yes, thank you in the chat as well for being so supportive and open and giving me questions when I needed them. We're gonna go jump in the water.
Yes, let's play.
Again, make sure you're following AIDA Freediving on Instagram, AIDAinternational.org for all the results from the competition. Follow all the athletes, their Instagram accounts. Follow me at Brandon Freediver. And yeah, we'll see you guys at the next World Champs. Yeah, bye.
Which camera?
Okay, enough with this shit. I need the
On the boat. We go photo down. Natsumi is suggesting a photo underwater down, guys.
I don't have a mask. Can I? You want also folding the photo? You want folding the photo? If we can avoid it, can I ask you a favor? I have that free bag that is in my
got an appetite, let's bake ourselves a treat. What you've been mixing, serve it up the way you please. I love the way you shake, you stir, you heat, you squeeze. So thick, push up and butter me.
So poke that, push that, shake that, smack that, mix that, help that, marinate that. We don't need a recipe.
Whip that cream, baby, pour that sweet on me. Baby, shade up, we can cook up, we can stir up when we hook up, just you and me. Whip that cream, whip that. Preheat this oven up like 5,000 degrees. It's almost ready, we've been craving this all week. Baby, you want it, I got it. I'm hooked on you like phonics. Gotta be honest, you're on it, and this ain't no time to be modest.
Poke that, push that, shake that, girl, take your last name, let's hyphenate that. We don't need a recipe.
Whip that cream, baby, pour that sweet on me. Baby, shade up, we can cook up, we can stir up when we hook up, just you and me. Whip that cream, whip that.
More than half of life on Earth is underwater. Imagine if we treated the ocean as if our future depended on it. If millionaires wanted to visit the seafloor as much as Mars. Because what we want to find in outer space, life, freedom, answers, even the feeling of being weightless, it's all here below the waves. For years and years we have taken from our ocean. It's time to give back. Making underwater video less about self-performance and more about our shared experience. If we act together, there will be beauty left to capture for generations to come. Every dive counts.
Best Dive has more than 20 years of experience in developing and manufacturing wetsuits. We use 100% Yamamoto neoprene with exclusive material license in China. Freediving champion Jessie Liu is our global ambassador. We collaborate closely with international and domestic freediving events. In 2018, Best Dive was awarded the title of the most popular domestic brand by AIDA China. We offer a variety of styles and high-quality services. You are welcomed at Best Dive.